Thomas Jefferson, 1743 to 1826, was an American founding father, one of the main authors of Declaration of Independence, and the third President of the United States. The Declaration of Independence was a document that declared the original 13 colonies of the United States to be free from Great Britain. Jefferson also owned slaves. In this short story, a woman enslaved on one of Jefferson's farms describes her life of slavery. Thomas Jefferson wrote about liberty and justice for all. He also was a slaveholder. Mr. Jefferson held about 200 men, women, and children in bondage at any given time. As enslaved people, they did not have the right to come and go as they pleased, and most of the time slaves were not paid for the work that they did. A woman named Hannah was one of the enslaved people who lived at Poplar Forest, a farm owned by Thomas Jefferson. Imagine that you could talk to Hannah. Listen to these imaginary memories Hannah might have shared. What questions would you ask her? Mr. Jefferson will arrive in 2 days. It will take him just about this long to get from Monticello, the plantation where he lives most of the time, to his large farm, Poplar Forest, which is my home. He will travel on horseback over land and cross a river to get here. Mr. Jefferson's arrivals add excitement to everyone's day. The men and women who work here in his fields, the children who live here with their parents, and the man in charge of the plantation when Mr. Jefferson is not here, all look forward to his visits. My life as an enslaved person is very different from that of slaves who live on other plantations. Mr. Jefferson likes special foods, and I have learned to prepare them. Many of the vegetables I serve him have been grown here following Mr. Jefferson's specific directions. My children, all 10 of them, either live with me here or at one of Mr. Jefferson's other plantations, such as Monticello or Bear Creek. I see them as often as I can, but I still miss them very much. One fear that I have is that one of my children will break a law and will be punished or sent away. As an enslaved parent, I am not in charge of them. Mr. Jefferson, their slave master, gets to tell them what to do and where to go. I live in a community with some people I have known all of my life. My home does not look at all like one of Mr. Jefferson's big houses. I live in a cabin with my husband and children. There is not a lot of room inside to work or play. I often cook for my family over an open fire in the yard. I wash my family's clothes in a nearby stream. My children play outside whenever they can. Sometimes we even eat outside. Most of the time we sleep in the cabin, especially in the winter when it is very cold. I've been working since I was a young girl. My first job was to look after the younger children and keep them safe from harm. I also gathered wood for the fire and helped carry water to be used in the slave cabins and in the main house. It was not hard work, but it kept me very busy. Most enslaved children do not go to school. Sometimes, but not very often, slaves learn to read and write. I learned to write and even wrote a letter to Mr. Jefferson one time when I heard that he was not feeling well. I told him that his house and furniture were all safe. I also said that he should be thankful for all of his blessings. I believe in God. Mr. Jefferson said that all men were created equal and that everyone was supposed to have liberty and justice. He did not mean this.